Hello everyone, I'm Rick Janzen. Welcome to my fly tying channel. When there is a chironomid hatch going on, there are often multiple species hatching at the same time, and they can vary widely in size and color. Trout will often key in on one specific size and color to the exclusion of all else. However, having said that, there is one type that usually shows up in their gullet, no matter which species they're focused on, and that's the amber chironomid. Some have called this the summer duck. I call my pattern the copper and amber. Let's take a look at the materials you're going to need to tie this precision chironomid pupa. Okay, in the device I've got a number 14 2x long curved nymph hook. I've added a 3/32 copper bead, and then we're going to slide that back and add some gills in front. I'm using my wood duck tying thread in 140 denier because that's what's available. You can change the denier, but this stuff has been in short supply of late, and so I took the size I could get. And to that, I'm going to be adding an ostrich herl in white for the gills. This is just another way of going about adding gills to the front or top of your chironomid and tie it in. I've stripped the stem there to allow me to give it a tie-in point, and we'll just get that secured in place, and then we'll give it about 3, maybe 4 wraps of the white ostrich herl to set up a set of gills. 3 wraps is probably enough. And go around it and tie it in behind, around and behind, around and behind. And then we'll cut that excess off. Just another material that makes a nice set of gills for your chironomid patterns. I'm going to give that a whip finish in behind the gills. Just a quick 2 or 3 turns, because we're going to be covering that up with more thread shortly. Just to hold it long enough to slide the bead over and get it tied on again. So there we go, we've got a nice little puffy set of gills there that looks very realistic, and we don't have to trim it like the wool, which is a nice little benefit of going with this method. Re-secure our thread on there, and then we bring in our copper wire rib. Just got some excess there, a little tag in that I want to trim off there before I get going with the wire. Okay, and our black wire, extra small, is coming in as our rib. I'm going to make sure I get the end of it there and hold it up against the hook and tie it in on the near side here. Get it firmly in place, and then go down the near side of the hook with it. And we can go in fairly open wraps here. We're not concerned about covering the hook with the thread at this point. We just want to get it down there. So I'll bring it between the point and the barb. And for our underbody material, we're going with gold Coroni skin. Oh, I've got a piece here. Just you might as well use the piece I started with. And you could use, in this is the one material on this one. I mean, other gills, you could go with yarn gills. You could change to brown magic bead if you want at the top. But the wood duck thread and the is very essential to this pattern. I'm going with gold Coroni skin here, and I just get that barely secured in place with 1 or 2 wraps. Don't want to overdo the wraps there because I don't want to build a bulk up at the butt of the fly there. And I'm not worried about the tag end, as the wraps will cover that up. Then I work my way forward. So this could be replaced with gold tinsel in small or even medium, as long as you're doing the gold side up. And I'm not too worried about leaving gaps as I work my way forward, because I'm going to be working my way back again. And the gaps actually provide the variegation in there that I like to see as well. Now I don't go right up to the bead because I want a darker collar in just behind the bead, so that I stop about a bead length or so short of the bead and then work my way back. And we're just crisscrossing it, going back to the tying thread. And we'll get it tied off there. Like I said, gold tinsel would work just as fine here. I have some flat tinsel that's silver one side, gold the other, and I've used it to the same effect, and it works out just as well. So just wrap, 2 wraps there. We'll cut off that crony skin. Then I like to lift the wire, my rib wire, up, and if I can get my fingers on it, it's presenting some challenges there. Then I go in behind it and I lay down a number of wraps in behind it to create the taper at the tail of the fly. So we've got a nice fine taper there. That's why I stop where I stop. Tying the wire in is just between the barb and the point, so that I've got room to go in behind it and lay that taper down. Now I work my way forward, covering that crony skin and unwinding my thread, so it flatten there. And so I'm just covering it. Now this is the essential part of this fly, this wood duck thread. This cannot be replaced. You have to go with this. Otherwise you can go with the gold tinsel, a different color bead, or a different kind of gills. But it's a precision chironomid in that way. It needs this material to mask that gold glitter under there. And we're getting it up to the collar here. And then we're just going to build up our taper a little bit. I've got some room to build up our taper now. And I'll work my way about a third of the way back, just to ease that taper, make it more gentle and gradual here. Right in about there, I needed a little more. And a little more at the top, just by the bead. That's why I left room there when I tied in, not to do too many wraps. Now we bring our black wire forward in the normal 5 to 7 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, coming up this side. And we've got room there to tie it off, and bring some in front and another behind. And we got it well secured there, and we give it a little helicopter. There, snap that out of there. And without any further ado, we'll give it some whip finish wraps. Try to lay down those precisely. Nice flat wraps. Just about 3 of them, because we've got our resin coming in to secure and lock everything in place once it's cut free. And this is again where we go abracadabra, and the color takes on a change when we add the resin. Everything comes to life. A drop of that, bring that up to the bead, back, turn the vise over, spread things around down here. Got a beautiful taper there too, without any globs. And look at that change in color, that blending from the tail through to the copper bead. That is a beautiful fly. That'll catch you some fish when no matter which color they seem keyed in on, they seem willing to take the amber or the summer duck or my copper and amber, and you lay that down there, you're going to pick up some fish. If you don't have the exact color in your box, these are the trump card I'd throw in there. And anytime in the summer the chironomids are coming off, this one shows up in their gullet if it's available. Don't know what it is, maybe it tastes good, maybe it's a big mouthful, but they certainly key in on it. It certainly stands out in the crowd when there's hundreds of thousands of bugs coming off the bottom. The fish have anything to pick from, and they see this one, they certainly like it. So if you enjoyed that video, like this fly, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll bring you more content like this in the future. I love these precision chironomids. They're beautiful and they catch fish. Tight lines, everybody. Good luck. Thank you for watching.